right, hello everybody. Tim Martinez with the Disco Dish. I wanted to do a Facebook Live here, and I want to give you guys some history on the disco. I've been cooking on a disco, like I said, for 25 years. I'll show you the experience when I first saw a disco in action, and then that got me wanting to cook on a disco, so I really enjoy it. So it was about 25 years ago. A man working for us here in the orchard, he was cleaning up the orchard for us, and we finished a hard day's work. And he pulled me aside and made a little fire, and didn't know what he was doing. Made a little fire, and it was about in the summer. It's kind of crazy. And then he pulled out his disco, had 3 little legs on it, put that disco on top of a fire. Then he cooked us some pork sandwiches. He threw the tortillas on the ashes to warm them up, cooked those pieces of pork to perfection on his disco. Never seen it before, never tasted it before, and it was just awesome. So I wanted to show you, after he left with his disco, me and my dad said, we better make a disco, and that's exactly what we did. So here's my first original disco. There it is here. So we have some axle shackles that we took off an old Chevy, welded it. We had to weld the handles in here. We filled this hole with some welds and some washers. Had to do that quite a few times. This is actually, it was used in a farm implement. This actually has a sharpened edge here, because these discs had to actually cut into the ground and plow the ground. That's what disking the ground was all about. So this is what I've had for about 25 years now. It's about, let me see, this one is 20 inches wide, and so cooked a lot of meals on it. So this was my first and original disco that I've cooked on. Then they became more streamlined, and let me show you the other discos I used. Now here's another disco. See if you can tell how shallow that is. Nice and wide, got some horseshoe handles on it. And this one's about 22 inches wide. It's got about a 2.5 inch dip into it. There's no sharpened edges. This is actually about an 1/8 to 3/6 inch wide. Horseshoe handles. Let's see here, these are heavy. Welded on there. Got my little logo K-Buzz on there. So I've been using this for about 15 years. Cooked a lot of meals on that one. And these are fine. We cook everything on this one. And then I upgraded to the Granddaddy over here. So let me show you that one. And this is it. You can see how big and deep that dish is. This one is 24.25 inches wide, and you can see how deep that thing is. I think it's about a 5-inch dish in there. This is great for big parties, piles of fajitas, piles of chicharrones, and so of course we have the horseshoe handles on that as well, and that's what we use. So we use it in combination, all 3 of those, and that's how we got to cooking on the disco. So hopefully that's informative for you guys, and a little bit of history on the disco. And that's the Disco Dish.